I'm doing a full comparison on Framer versus Webflow, covering all the latest features. I break down each section for you. Let's get started with number one is design and motion. Now, Framer has this tool called Design Pages, which is an infinite canvas. It's like working in a design tool, and you can really create as many pages as you want and design anything. So you can see here's a recent mood board that I created for a client, and you can see playing with text, adding different layouts, and put some different designs that I created here. And the cool thing is if you go to the left and click on design, you can plus and put as many pages as you want, and you can literally design and put images, create frames, drop text in, drop colors, icons, whatever you really need to create. For this website, I have an icon set, as you can see here, for one of my client websites, and we have a nice line style here in this green format. And I'm actually using Phosphor, so you can see if I click on this and go to Phosphor on the right, I have a whole bunch of icons that are pulling from that icon set. It's a free icon kit, and the cool thing about this is I can drag and drop an icon, or I can left click and change it. As you can see, I can duplicate to create another variant, and I can change the icon again. And the cool thing is it's really easy to change colors just like this. I can also change the stroke width. So it makes it really easy to build out your own icon kits, so that when you're on the website, you can see it already changes it and updates it because it's a component. Now, for all the vector nerds, you can actually use the inbuilt vector tools. They've got path, star, polygon, oval, and rectangle. So I can press R, drag out a rectangle. As you can see here. And I can also use the path tool. So just like the pen tool, similar in other design tools, I can draw out a shape. And so now we have a path, which is a shape, and we can change the stroke, as you can see. We can make dashed lines. You can change the join and the cap. And then you can also export that file as a SVG, PNG, or JPEG, and you can export that path. And then, you could use it for other things like masking or creating cool effects. One of the other amazing things is you can copy components from component libraries. For example, I can come to this site, I can copy a component, I can go back to Framer, and let's say I have this website here, which is a nice template. I can just come into here, press paste, Control V to paste it in, and make sure you drag it into the right layers, which we have our layers panel on the right, which gives us full control. And so we can drag and drop it into here, and then now we can literally play the website and scroll down, and we've got this cool design that we just created with everything working. You can see the button there and this nice scroll animation, super cool. So building different layouts with different components makes it very fast to build websites. One of the other top AI tools is using the workshop tool. If I press Control K, type workshop, we can create our own custom components with the use of AI. So let's just say I want a moving gallery ticker with blur. It will go ahead and start to create that component, which I can then put it into my website. So now I can grab this component, I can drop it into my design, and we're gonna scale it up. Now if I click play, you can see we've got this moving ticker with a pause when we put our mouse over it, and it's got a bit of a blur there, and we can go ahead and adjust it and tweak it. And the workshop tool will do everything for me. Now, one of the new features they have is called the flow effect. They have many other effects, but this one allows you to create a nice smooth transition on nested layout. So for example, if you have a menu and a nav bar and you open it, it will react with the other sections around it. Framer also uses their inbuilt motion library, which is a lot smoother. So there's no third-party plugins. They don't use GSAP. And so, for example, on my website, you can see you got these nice smooth transitions, the text. You can add blurs. You can add hover effects, overlays. You literally can do anything. So for example, if I click on this text, you go to the effects section, you can see they've got on appear, layer, and view. You can customize every preset, stagger, flip, blur. You can do per word. So that's in a text effect. You can do image effects. You can do cursor effects as well, which is popular. It's just really easy to add an effect. You can add scroll effects, scroll transforms. You can add intro animations. You really can do a lot of things that are just amazing. Now, in terms of motion, Webflow does use a timeline style animation. It's basically a JavaScript library with pre-made animations that you can add to your designs, as you can see. And what we can do here, let's say I want to, on scroll, we want an action and we want to fade in. So let's just say it's gonna slide in like this, and then you can preview it right on the canvas. So you get this timeline, so it's a bit different, whereas Framer you just like set an effect and then you'll see it. Whereas this one, we're using the timeline here at the bottom, and then you've got the easing, so we can ease, and then you can see as we scroll, it fades in that text. So that's how you do motion. It's not as easy just to like right click and copy motion and apply it to other elements. You'd have to go in to here and you apply it to the whole class. So if you want to trigger a certain class, you got to make sure all your naming systems are correct, or else it doesn't work. Whereas in Framer, you can literally copy and paste one effect or style and apply it to a whole bunch of layers or any objects, as multiple objects as once. So it's way faster in terms of motion. Now, Webflow doesn't have any native vector or pen tool editing abilities. You'd have to create something, say in Illustrator, and bring it in as SVG. So that's the only way to do it. You can't, you can bring in files and things, but there's no ability to customize, like add your own vectors in here or icons. You'd have to bring it in as an image and bring it in to your media assets library. So this is how they handle your assets. And then once you have something, we drag it and drop it in to the canvas, and then you can change it. So a bit limited there. Next, we've got CMS and dynamic content. When it comes to Framer, you've got a CMS system. As you can see, you can have multiple collections. You can have up to hundreds of collections. For example, this one I'm using for case studies and blogs. So if I click on this, you can see you can create a whole bunch of different fields. You got images, dates, title, intro, content. You got author, and then the slug, and you can really customize this fully. You've got some text editing details here. You can insert content. You can do videos, tables, code blocks, and then inserting components, which is really great. And then if you click on edit fields, you can add a whole bunch of fields. You click the plus button. You can add any type of field you want, a toggle, a number, a color, a vector set. You can add multi-reference and references as well, and dividers. And you have full customizability on each piece of content. They also do have dynamic filtering. So for example, on my newsletter blog, you've got my newsletter here, and you can see we've got these filters. I can left click and it will filter out only those specific blog posts. With that, you can also search articles. So if I type in client, that will find that, as you can see. So with that, you have the power to filter out if you've got a big website with lots of articles on it. To make it even easier, there are plugins that you can use to improve the CMS. You can import them from Notion. You can have a Google Sheets. You've got auto publish, and there's a whole bunch of free plugins you could use, or paid ones, that just makes publishing content a lot easier. When it comes to SEO, Framer allows you to edit all the title, metadata, descriptions, the favicons, social previews. So you have full control over that. You can upload you have full control over everything here on each page. You also do have custom code. So if you need to add something, for example, some scripts here, you can add that. If you want to connect to Google Analytics or whatever you use. You've also got staging. It's easy to connect Google Analytics and also create API keys, which then you can use any AI tool to create content. You can also use plugins to adjust alt text automatically. So all my images, if I click generate, you can also use plugins for your SEO as well. So for example, we need alt text. You can see we can come in here, it'll identify all the images, and I can literally click generate and it will generate for all the images. So for example, if I have this image here, I click the little star button and it will go ahead and start generating the alt text, as you can see. So I can literally do it in one click and it will do it for all the images, which just makes everything a lot easier. Now for the CMS, Webflow has a pretty robust CMS system. Your collections, your blog posts, categories, projects. It has preset templates here that you can use, and it comes with the info. You can add fields as well. So it has all the basics that you need. Framer has all the same things as well. And so the CMS, the backend just looks a little bit different with the UI. As you can see, post on main image thumbnail, and you can fully customize that CMS. For the next section, let's talk about collaboration, brand teams, and publishing. Well, with Framer, it's very simple to invite someone to your website. You can go to the top right, click invite, and you can change the access to full access or view only and put their emails, or you can literally create a project link which is automatically created, and you can change the access once again and click copy. And then once I paste that to my client or to my friend, they'll be able to get access. So for example, this one, I can see all my clients here at the top. If I click on it, it shows me my clients on the right hand side, and when they're online, they will highlight their little icon there. And I can also customize and upgrade that specific person if I need to. So it's full live collaboration. So you can see if I have a client or my wife here, then you can see what they're doing and adding changes to the website. I can see where they're clicking, and because it's on view only, she can't edit. But if I click on and change it to full access, then we can do that. And now she can change, and I can see the edits live on the canvas. So it's a great multiplayer platform. Framer also gives you a free domain. So if I go to publish, as you can see, I've already published it, and you click on the link, it will give you a free domain where you can use, as you can see. So it's fully live, and it makes it really easy to get your free domain. As you can see, you got a free subdomain, you can claim a free custom domain or connect an existing one. It's very easy to do that. Webflow allows you to share the website with anyone with a link or an email. So you can set an admin, site manager, designer, and you can see the pricing here. If you want a full seat, it starts going up to almost $500, or a reviewer is a free seat. So that's kind of good. And then the share link, you just copy it and paste it, and someone else will get that link and they'll be able to view the project. But it does cost to add people, as you can see here, an editor or someone to manage the billing, etc. One other thing as well, you need to pay for a work space plan. So I'm currently on the free one for Webflow, which is only, you get 2 staging sites, so it really limits you a lot. But if you need to pay for $19 a month on top of the site plan to actually have any of the solid features you need. So that's where I don't like Webflow's pricing. It gets a bit complex. And then for hosting, they currently use AWS Cloud Front. So I don't think people have had any issues with speed and stuff with Webflow. Now let's talk about analytics, conversion, and pricing. They do have advanced analytics inbuilt into the system, so I can check my analytics. Maybe I want to go to 90 days. I can view all the sources, the links, geography, devices, pages. You just customize the tracking ID for one certain page design and you do it for the other one. So then you can track both at the same time. And then in your analytics, you can go to your funnels, and it will show you the full details on which one is the clear winner, so that you can get higher conversions on your website. I love that you don't have to do a third-party app for this. It's all inbuilt within Framer. When it comes to pricing, Framer is pretty straightforward. It does include, they use the Vercel hosting network, and they also use CDN with Cloudflare to make sure that everything is running smoothly across the globe. You've got basic, pro, and scale plan, and you can see all the details. You get free custom domain on basic, the built-in SEO and the hosting, And then if you want to start going up, you get more things like the A/B testing, multiple locales, relational CMS, priority support, etc. And everything's broken down. So you are paying around $20 to $40 for the first 2 plans. As you can see, you get up to 150 pages. You get heaps of CMS items. Just on the basic plan, you only get 1 CMS collection though, so that's kind of limiting. You'd only be able to fit like a blog really, without having any other CMS collections, because typically you need at least 2 or 3 to make everything connect. So the basic plan is only good for a landing page, and then Pro would be the standard that everyone probably uses. So it's 40 bucks Aussie. It's pretty good because it includes everything you need. You got the live collaboration, and then you got the add-ons as well. So I think the best value is when you pay for annual, you get that discount. But if it's just monthly, then you can see the prices go to around 60 bucks. But I like how it's just simple. Once you just click, it's super easy to publish. Just click one button and it's like done. You don't have to do any third-party websites or download any external things. It's just really easy to get launch a website within a day. I'd say the only limiting thing is that Framer doesn't have an inbuilt e-commerce platform, but you can install a e-commerce plugin that connects to Shopify. There's heaps of different plugins like Framer Commerce and Frameship which I've used before. So it's really easy to connect Shopify if you have a customer that's selling lots of different products. When it comes to pricing on Webflow, it costs more for the month-to-month pricing. So you get the basic and CMS costs more if you pay monthly, but you do get a bigger discount for the yearly, which I'd say is very similarly priced to Framer. And they have similar features in terms of you get a domain, you can get 150 pages. The lower tiers don't have any CMS features, whereas Framer's basic plan does let you have 1 collection, CMS collection. And so you'd have to pay at least the CMS or the business plan. I think both sites are great for big enterprise agencies and those larger marketing sites. Both tools have a lot of features, and it just depends on how you work, your workflow, and the specific tools environment you're comfortable working in. Now, Webflow does come with analytics as well. So if you want to analyze, you would have to upgrade to that. It gives you tracking, goals, site overview, all the analytics, views, events as well. And then you can link it up with your Google Analytics or whatever you're using. So there's nothing crazy revolutionary here. In terms of page SEO, it does all the similar things. Obviously, you got the page name, SEO settings, the metadata and title tags, the open graph previews, and all the site search settings. And then you can also do custom code. Obviously, you have to upgrade to a site plan before you can even add custom code, which is limited as well. So thanks so much for watching the comparison. Let me know in the comments below if you are using Framer or Webflow. I'd love to hear your honest thoughts on what you prefer to use. There's a lot of competition out there today. For me personally, I use Framer and I've been loving it. It just feels like a design tool, not too much as a developer tool. As I'm more of a designer, and it works for me. If you're a designer and you want some portfolio inspiration, then watch this video here where I break down my top favorite portfolio websites for 2026.